Hello, and welcome to Michael's Minty Music for today. Today we review Pink's 2006 album, I'm Not Dead. It's really great. It's definitely some of her best work, and I really enjoy it. This is the track listing, and these are the tracks I added to my playlist, 9 out of 14. This album has a lot of great songs on it, and it flows amazingly. It starts out sort of mid-low tempo at the beginning, with Who Knew and Long Way to Happy being sort of mid-low-ish tempo. It dips into the super slow with the next two songs, Nobody Knows and Dear Mr. President. Then it punches it back up with the title track, I'm Not Dead. The middle of the album is full of upbeat rock songs mixed with some more traditional pop music until probably about Runaway, which drags it back into the slow section for the end. So it's a bit of a hill here for the album. Both of the two final tracks on the album, as the I Have Seen the Rain is a hidden track, the technical final, Conversations with the 13-Year-Old Self, is really a really great finale, and I Have Seen the Rain weirdly complements it quite great. So the emotional hill that is this album really ends quite well. The only single released before the album was the first track, Stupid Girls. The radio hits were Who Knew and You Plus Your Hand, which were both pretty popular, especially Who Knew. I still hear that on the radio occasionally. My favorite here is probably Cause I Can, although I'm Not Dead is also really good. Really, all of the four tracks in the middle are all really good. I'm Not Dead to You Plus Your Hand. All of these are really good tracks, in my opinion. Now, I rank this second out of Pink's albums. It loses out a bit to her previous album, Try This, as that one's almost perfect. It doesn't have a lot of missed tracks on that one. I'm Not Dead is pretty close in quality to her next album, Funhouse, but I think that I'm Not Dead flows a bit better. Funhouse sort of starts off with the high note and slows down all the way to the end, while I'm Not Dead does this sort of start low, get super high, and then go back down to low, which I think flows a lot better and shows that it's a better album. Additionally, this is my favorite album from 2006, beating out a variety of albums, most of which are not as good. Songs from the Labyrinth isn't very good. The Cars soundtrack is good, but doesn't really compare to a real album. Same thing with the Half-Life 2 Episode 1 soundtrack. The biggest competitor is probably Taylor Swift's debut, but I don't really like that album as much as because it's pretty much purely pop country. And I'm Not Dead, I think, is also just sort of better on a song-for-song basis. But with the added sort of genre preference, I definitely like I'm Not Dead better than Taylor Swift. And speaking of Taylor Swift debut, next up is Taylor Swift's self-titled debut 2006 album. It is actually pretty good, considering that she was 16 when it was released and wrote all these songs when she was in high school. I don't enjoy it that much because I don't really like that style of country music, but it's certainly impressive, and the album is still pretty decent. So stay tuned for that, and as always, stay minty.